So welcome back to Driver's Room 2 for Tuesday. I am your host, Diesel71. This is the feature race of round 4, and it's on the slightly longer circuit of the Tokyo South Outer Loop. So let's see how the grid stacks up. And as always, it's the reverse order of the finishing of the sprint race. So in pole, we have Ivanhoe in the Mazda. We have a Lexus in second for Dowlers. In third, we have Kimaru in the Genesis, the Hyundai. We have a Toyota in fourth for Rocker. We've got Mr. Sean in fifth in the Corvette. Sixth, we have Murkoff in a Toyota. We have the Aston in seventh for Psycho Killer. We have DeGuerra in eighth in the Corvette. Ninth is Semicolon in Aston Martin. We have Too Fast For You in the BMW M3 in 10th. 11th is JC in the BMW M6. We have Mongino in 12th in the Lancer in the Mitsubishi. We have the Viper for Cafe Del Mar in 13th. And the winner from race 1, bringing up the rear, Britain Spit in the Renault. The revs are rising and off they go. Ivanhoe got off the line well. Dowlers looks like he's got a good drag on him there. He's going to try and get up the inside, which he has done already. So this first lap I'm expecting to be extremely tight. It's going to be tough for these boys in these cars. So Ivanhoe's coming back at Dowlers. Now he's got back into first place. Trying to make the most of that starting off the front row. So they come down to the hairpin. Scene of many an accident. Now, but Dowlers has made it up the inside. It's going to put him in the not best of positions going down this long straight. It does have a couple of kinks in it, but it's still a straight. Let's see how closely grouped they are. But Ivanhoe's got close attention for Kimaru there. He's going to try and go up the inside. Well, there's not quite enough room. He decides better of it. It is only the first lap. There's plenty of time. And there's DeGuerra coming up already, up the third. He's made good progress already. So Ivanhoe's trying to go up the inside. Up to the chicane. Not the best place to be two abreast, but did it make it? Oh, DeGuerra took full advantage of that. Both cars having to slow down side by side. Managed to take one of them. Still in second, but he's making a charge for first straight by. Got himself in a good position for the next series of turns. Still quite tightly bunched. Looks like he's stretching his legs now, and he's going to try and make a break for it. Try and put some kind of gap between him and the rest of the field. Of course, we don't have Jack in this race, who's his main title contender. It does give others opportunity to come and close the gap. So we're into the hairpin again. So let's take a look back, as we normally do, and see how the winner from race 1 got on lap 1. So we're on board with Britain Spit, winner from race 1, or the sprint race. He bogs down a little bit off the start there, and you can just see everyone pulling away. But they're so tightly packed up ahead that it won't take long just to get onto the back of them again. The three abreast through the corner there. They managed to fan out a little bit. Yeah, they're down to two abreast. It does. Looks like chaos up there. It really does. I do. Commentating on these races does make me a little envious. You do want to be in amongst it. They look like so much fun. Brilliant series that Mongino's put together. So here we go, out the chicane, down this straight. This is where Britain Spit would hope to close the gap on these guys and maybe pick off a few. It's not going to be easy because everyone in front has got slipstream as well, so kind of negates it a little bit. But Mongino's managed to get a good drag there, coming up behind Too Fast For You. Little bit of understeer through in the slipstream there, lost a lot of time, a lot of speed. Yeah, but he'll catch back up again through these couple of corners and then the chicane. So it all, you can see it all, it could quite easily unravel for those guys in front going 2 abreast through there. And then the final corner onto the start-finish straight. And across the line. And that's lap 1 from Britain to Spit. I think we'll actually stick with him for a little bit longer. Yeah, so Mongino taking advantage up the inside there. Going through these series of corners. Now the drag down to the hairpin. Let's see, can Britain to Spit make a move? Or is he going to play it safe? Goes wide, he's looking for a good line. Keeps it nice and tight. And then off we go down the straight. There we go, and we've got the close attentions of Too Fast For You now around Brit. Is he making the move stick? He has. So we're a lap and a half in, and unfortunately Brit's not managed to make any progress. Other than 1 place for the retirement of JC. Oh, we've got Murgoff sideways around there. That's it's going to cost him a bit of time. Let's see how the guys at the front are getting on. So De Gerrit, he's just stretching out a lead now. Pulling a big gap. Cafe Del Mar in second. He's making a habit of this, putting in some good performances. He's keeping the pressure on the leaders, but he's unfortunately not quite getting that first position. It'll come though when he's with performances like this. And then we've got Mr. Sean, a familiar face around this area in the standings. He's not going to want to let Cafe get out of his sights. Now we've got Semicolon challenging Ivanhoe. Looks like he's got a better drive out of the hairpin. He's going to be wanting to do everything he can to stay with Mr. Sean. There's a bit of a gaggle of cars behind him now. So that Mazda's got some speed. Trying to put the move back on Semicolon. Has he made it? Yes, he's managed to get through on the outside. Dowlers has managed to put the move on him as well. Took full advantage of that. But Semicolon's not giving up. He's coming back at him. It looked like Dowlers took a bit too much of the sausage at the chicane. Cost him some time. Give Semicolon the opportunity. There's Kimaru. Very consistent driver. Bit of a thinking driver is Kim. Doesn't do anything rash, just keeps it clean, waits for the opportunities to come to him, and when one arises, takes it. Is he going to go around the outside? No, but he kept it wide, given plenty of room. Maybe got on the power a little bit too hard there, but giving himself every chance of putting the drag on Dowlers to get past him. Looks like he's doing it as well. Around the outside of that first kink. He's got himself on the inside for the... no, he's had to drop back in. The Lexus does have some legs around the straight. Hyundai can struggle a little when you get up into the top gear. Got Psycho Killer now in 8th with Mungino all over the back of him. And Too Fast For You behind him. Oh, a nice line from Mungino through there. Says Too Fast For You managed to pull inside. This is a battle that looks like it's going to go on for a while. Mungino going a little bit wide through there, would have lost himself some momentum. Coming down to the hairpin. See, can he put himself in a good position, or is Too Fast For You going to spoil the party? And in the pits, so it looks like we've got a bunch of guys in the pits. Kim's managed to save the most fuel out of everyone. Everyone else is about the same, so that'll pay him back in a little while. Let's see how much fuel we're going in. He's come out right behind Dowler's. Yes, Dowler's put more fuel in. Quite fortunate to still come out ahead of Psycho Killer. But it's costing him a bit of pace down the straight. But the Lexus will pull it back. There we have it. Psycho Killer's got other ideas. He's going to run it right round the outside. Takes 11th. Nice move. Rocker in 12th. Too Fast For You in 13th. Ivan, who hasn't pitted yet, he's going to have to come in at the end of this. As a semicolon. Mungino also. Here's the first of the pitters, DeGarrett. He's going to be safely past these guys. As will Cafe Del Mar. And Mr. Sean. And Kim's just been overtaken by Britt there. So let's see. Can Britt jump these guys in the pits? Looks like he has. Now I suspect Britt hasn't pitted yet. He's been taking it gentle on those tyres. And the fuel. So Ivanhoe's down in 6th now with Murkoff right behind him. Semicolon just bringing up the rear of those two. A little bit of a gap down to Psycho Killer. He's still ahead of Dowler's, who looks like he's gone very wide there. Project Gotham Racing line through that corner. It's probably a comment that's wasted on most of the people in this room, but hopefully someone got it. So yeah, we have Dowler's close behind Psycho Killer. Rocker not far behind. And Too Fast For You and Mungino still in the battle there at the back. So there we are. Let's give DeGarrett a little bit of airtime. He's just in a different league at the minute. He's just pulling away. Picking his lines, keeping it clean. does sound good, that Corvette. Off he goes to finish another lap. Cafe Del Mar still in a very comfortable second. Mr. Sean's not letting him out of his sight though. There we are, Brit closing down on Mr. Sean. So from being at the back of the pack, he's suddenly in a very comfortable 4th position as Brit. He is known for his tyre saving capabilities and his frugal use of fuel. Around the hairpin, you can see he's getting ever closer to Mr. Sean. He should be able to pull him in down this straight here as well with the draft. Coming down the end of the straight, he's into 7th. You saw how early he changed gear there, conserving fuel. And then we'll see into the braking zone, off the throttle, just lets it roll in and then applies a little bit of brake. Just gently feeding the throttle in. Anybody who wants to learn how to save fuel and tyres, just get a hold of one of Brit's replays and just watch it. Watch his fuel, his throttle inputs, watch his braking inputs, watch where he changes gear. It's just little things here and there, but over the course of a race it all adds up. You can see he's never too heavy on the throttle. Coming into a heavy braking zone, we'll see here, we'll just stay on board a little bit longer. I'm sure you won't mind me sharing some of his secrets. And watch him come off the throttle momentarily before he presses the brake. And then he gently increases the brake pressure. Whereas if we drop back a few places, let's get on with Psycho Killer, he'll be off the... Watch the instantaneous brake. There we are. As soon as the throttle's released, he's on the brake, like most people. And that's the difference. A little bit of extra fuel usage, a little bit extra braking power used, takes a little bit more wear on the tyres. So there is ending the educational section. Let's get back to the racing. So Gino's managed to get past semicolon now. Doing a fantastic job in that Mitsubishi around here. Is he managing to pull in Dowlers as well? You can see he's got a much nicer line through that chicane than everybody around him. Merkov staying in touch with the guys there. So here we are on lap 11. We're on board with Rocker, who's putting a challenge onto Psycho Killer coming into the hairpin. Taking a wide approach in. Too fast for you, just waiting to pick up any pieces that come along here. And he's got the cut back on him. Got a good drive out the corner. There we go, he's took the position. So he's going to be trying to get on at the back of Ivanhoe, get his slipstream so he can pull away from Psycho Killer. See, can he manage it? Psycho Killer certainly looks like his car's got the legs. He's just waiting for his opportunity at the end of the straight. Is Rocker going to go for it? Oh. Sitting behind. Ivanhoe keeping a good line there. Across the chicane. Oh, and Psycho Killer had a bit of a mishap in the background there. But Rocker got a fantastic line through the chicane, but unfortunately not being able to take advantage on Ivanhoe. Meanwhile, further up ahead, we've got Britt and the Spit all over the back of Mr. Sean. So he's managed to draw him in. His tyres are starting to look a little bit worn now. Coming out the start-finish straight. Looks like he's got a real good drive out the turn there. He's going for the inside. Is he going to make it through on the turn? Yeah, comfortable pass. Mr. Sean very respectful as always of someone on his inside. And it looks like he's just pulling away now. He is going to have to pit this lap or the next, certainly looking at the fuel. Garrett's in the pits again. And there we go, into the pits. So Mr. Sean stayed out. We've got Kim who's gone in as well. Let's see where Britt's going to come out. He's come out in 8th place behind Cycle Killer. But with his fresh tyres, it's not going to take long at all to catch up. We've got a battle between Rocker and Ivanhoe here at the end of the straight. Yes, Rocker's. Oh, it looks like Too Fast For You's had a mishap through the chicane. It's allowed 2-3 drivers through. Oh, that was costly. Looks like Mr. Sean can possibly stay out even longer. So is he going to go for the pits? Yeah. That's going to give De Garrett his place back into the lead. It's more than likely Britt's going to come through in 3rd place. Some of the guys are staying out. They're trying to stretch out the stop. Mr. Sean's come out in front. That's a surprise. I thought with the fresher tyres, Britt would have been able to pull a bit of a gap, but it looks like Mr. Sean's done what he needed to do. Managed to get a car between them as well, which will help. We'll be closing down Ivanhoe here. It's all looking tight. And Mr. Sean will be wanting to catch Cycle Killer and get past him before Britt gets past Cycle Killer, but that's not happening, so he's going to have the attentions of Britt behind him any moment. He's getting held up now by Ivanhoe. He'll be praying that he's going into the pits. And it looks like he is. He's taking a really wide line. Yeah, has cost him some time. But he still does have a bit of a gap over Britt. Here we are on board with Kim, coming up the chicane. He's taking a lot of curbing there. Oh, and a little bit of an unforced error there. And Semicolon taking full advantage and going through. That's It's an uncharacteristic mistake from Kim there. But he's got it back facing the right way. It's on the move again. That will, however, have let these guys catch up. When Gino's worked his way up to 7th through the pit stops, and some very clean, consistent driving, just picking people off as he goes. He does have that very fast Mazda coming past him now, though. And too fast for you. Might fancy a piece of this as well. But you can see when Gino's handling in that Lancer is far superior, but he just doesn't have the speed down the straight. Into the hairpin. See how tight his lines are. Good drive out. Fully in the slipstream, arriving home. Let's look at the size difference on those cars. But there's nothing he can do. His foot's buried there. And he just can't get the legs on that Mazda. That's Semicolon and Psycho Killer. There's the tail there in the Astons. Oh, and Semicolon. Far too much curb. We're seeing that a few times now. Not just from him, but from other drivers. And how much it punishes you. And then Rocker and Murkoff in the Toyotas. A bit of formation driving going on at the back of the field there. We've got De Gerrit still out front, comfortably so. Cafe Del Mar. Not able to keep up with De Gerrit, but clearly faster than everybody else in the field. Oh, and Brits managed to get past Mr. Sean. I think we might have to go back and see how he achieved that. So coming out of the final turn on the start-finish straight, got Brit lining Mr. Sean up. Got a really good exit on his inside. Into turn 1. Oh, it looks like Mr. Sean just broke a little bit late there, ran wide, and Brit took full advantage. He's just trying to hold on to the position. And then Brit's taking it. He's going to try and show Mr. Sean a clean pair of heels now. I don't think either of these two need to pit till the end now. Not at all. Should be able to make it all the way to the finish. Now we've got Mungino struggling with that top speed again. Got too fast for you, crawling all over the back of him. Is he going to get past? Round the outside. Very little Mungino could do there. And through the chicane again. Oh, and Ivanhoe's spun. And just manages to stay out the way of the other 3 cars coming through. That was a costly mistake. Lost 5 positions there in total. And there we are, the formation Toyota team again. Brit in a comfortable 3rd. Now it looks like he's just pacing himself to the end. Mr. Sean 4th. Came in 5th. Too fast for you. Mungino not wanting to give up that 6th position just yet. Still a couple of laps to go, so there's still plenty of time. See if he can line him up into the chicane. Get a better line out of the chicane, which he's been doing all race. Too Fast For You, equally as good through there that time. Looks like he might just have the advantage now at this stage of the race. Mangino putting his best lap of the race in there. Definitely hasn't given up. Cycle Killer, semicolon. It's not too far behind. Might possibly, there's a chance if there's a mistake by Cycle Killer, but it's a slim one. Ivanhoe down in 10th after that unfortunate mistake earlier. Dowler's kind of out on his own. Rocker and then Murkoff. So De Gerrit starting what's going to be his last lap. He really has just been the class of the field today. Cafe Del Mar, brilliant drive again. An absolute solid second place. He carries on this way. Got Britt, who's worked his way up through the field with tactics and precision, to third. Mr. Sean still hanging in on there in fourth. The gap is widening slightly. Too Fast For You. Kim. Mangino. Too Fast For You's managed to get past Kim now. And Mangino will probably fancy a bit of that on this last lap. So let's follow De Gerrit over the line. There he comes to take another victory. There he goes, first place. Cafe Del Mar takes a well-deserved second. And what's going on here? Why is Britt stopped? And Mr. Sean takes third. That's interesting. I think we're going to need some comments after the race about that one. Find out what happened there. Maybe something happened I didn't capture on film, but it's a very fair racer, so possibly. Too Fast For You taking 5th. And Gino's 6th. Kim 7th. Cycle Killer 8th. The other Aston coming in 9th. Looks like Ivanhoe had another mishap at the chicane, dropped him down one. So we've got Rocker in 10th. Murkoff in 11th, Ivanhoe 12th, and Dowler's bringing up the rear in 13th. So congratulations to De Gerrit there. Took a very comfortable win. Once he got in front, there was no stopping him. He just kept going and going and pulling that gap. Second place, Cafe Del Mar. You could say the same. Once he got out in front of the pack, he was gone. And he got himself a nice, comfortable second position. Were it not for De Gerrit, he'd probably have a win or two by now. But he's shown himself to be a consistent front runner. And third for Mr. Sean. Now, it turns out that Britt actually believed that there'd been some form of contact when he'd put the move on Mr. Sean a few laps earlier. Mr. Sean didn't feel there was any contact at all, so they've put it down to a bit of lag between the two cars. But Britt showing a very sporting nature there, just pulling over, giving the position back at the end. Goes a long way, that, with a lot of drivers. So the standings now on the leaderboard are De Gerrit in first with 293. Jackson second with 275. Mungino's in third with 212. Mr. Sean, fourth with 176. And Too Fast For You is in fifth with 148. I would like to mention that Cafe is actually in sixth place with 139 points. Reason I'd like to mention that is he didn't take part in round 1 at all, and he didn't take part in the first race at round 2. So he's effectively already dropped his scores. So they're actual points for him. So we could see him jumping up when other drivers start to drop points. But we'll keep an eye on that. Don't forget to get your votes in for the livery of the week from the sprint race. It's a tough one again this week. The lads aren't making it easy for any of us to make these decisions. So excellent work. I'm Diesel71, and I'll see you at the next round. Thanks for watching.